The wild surf and forbidding rocks of Molokai's West End are nothing like the image of a Hawaii resort area, but tourist development has been encroaching on the land and its people since 1977 when the Sheraton Molokai opened. A Louisiana Development Corporation doing business locally as Kaluakoi now owns 4,500 acres of the shoreline from the Sheraton north. The next project is 2 condominiums and a park at Kavakiu Bay. This is the end of Kaka'ako Road now, and 1.5 miles down the shore is Kavakiu Bay, the site of the proposed development. Some Molokai residents feel that putting this road through will eventually mean that the entire West End shoreline will be a string of hotels and condominiums. These Molokai people met at the project site this weekend. They are called Hui Alaloa, a grassroots organization formed in 1975 dedicated to preserving the Molokai way of life.
And because the aloha of the Aina, Hui Alaloa formed the group, which is called the Group of the Long Trail. And it is still long, and we are still going.
One of Hui Alaloa's main concerns about this particular site is that it's rich in relics of Hawaiian life. A burial niche containing the bones of some predecessor rests below the proposed parking lot. And a heiau, or religious site, stands only yards away from a planned condominium.
This halimua also signifies that this area was heavily populated for fishing purposes with the finding of 500 fish hooks. And may I reiterate that the archaeologists that did the work only completed 30% of the site. So we believe that there is 3-4 times that amount of fish hook still embedded in the site itself, along with more hammerstones.
I think it was spoil a fishing ground on Kavakiu and well, a lot of people too, eh? When the people like come down, they get off bankside and you know, this is going to be just like Waikiki.
The developers feel their project will be beneficial to Molokai. We'll hear from them tomorrow.
But everybody ready?
The Alulike Youth Fun Run was just that. No entry fee, no fundraising, just plain fun and a little friendly competition. Nearly 300 people, mostly kids aged 17 and under, ran the 3 miles. That's exactly 5% of the whole island population. As far as we know, everyone finished, with the encouragement of the cheering section, led by famous Wally Amos, who walked the race course, and the added incentive of a cookie lau awaiting those who hung in there. The 1 to 8-year-old division was won by a runner with tough feet.
I missed it because I always ran around when I'm at home and barefooted.
Sai Naho'opi'i was the first female finisher.
I almost stopped almost halfway.
Why?
Because I was having pains, but I was keep talking to myself. I know I can, I know I can.
And the Helm family took top honors, with brothers Michael and Matthew winning both older divisions. And a Helm pet, Alaloa, was first dog in. Due to the astounding success of the event, it will now be known as the annual Alulike Fun Run.
And did you have fun today? Yeah!
Lynne Waters, News Center 4, Molokai. Tonight from Molokai, the story of another proposed development, but this one has a happy ending, at least for now. This is Puko'o Bay, a pretty cloverleaf-shaped harbor on the east end of the island of Molokai. Residents have been concerned about this bay for some time. They want to confine commercial development to the west end and not have it encroach on this part of the island. And in the past, there have been plans to build hundreds of condominiums at this very spot. But now the property is owned by a family who plans to develop it in keeping with the local lifestyle. Zoning has been changed from urban to residential. There's now a canoe club on the shore, and plans are to build 3 family residences. And many Molokai people are happy about it. Who wins in this situation?
In this particular situation, it's not only the landowner, it's the people that have fought long and hard to keep Molokai, and also to support ongoing efforts to encourage wealthy landowners or people that have property ownership on the shoreline for residential use as opposed to condominium or resort destination purposes.
However, an organization called CROWD, Citizens Right-of-Way Dedication, which says it represents 400 residents, is not happy. They are trying to secure public access to launch their boats from the harbor and have filed a class action suit against the owners. It's expected that legal action will have to be dealt with before anything is built at Puko'o Bay. The Blue Angels are known for their spectacular air stunts, but today's 2,500-mile trip across the Pacific was straight flying for the 7 A4F Skyhawk jets. However, they did make a couple of precision passes for the crowd waiting to welcome them. It took 6 hours, 2 refuelings in midair, and 15,000 pounds of jet fuel to get them here. Their first visit to the islands in 12 years. It's considered such an honor in service flying circles to be a Blue Angel that pilots can spend a maximum of 1 tour of duty or 2 years with the team.
Well, we're all volunteers, and you have to have a minimum of 1,500 hours to apply, and then you volunteer by letter, and you're interviewed by the team, and we pick our own team members.
So you have a say in the people that you fly with, then?
Yes, we're on the road about 310 days a year, and one of the things we look for is individual compatibility with the rest of the members on the team.
One of the 7 pilots, Lieutenant Scott Anderson, was born and spent the first 6 years of his life on Molokai.
You going to take some time off and visit Molokai while you're here?
I'm going to really give it a shot, try to get over there on Monday and Tuesday. We've got a couple days off beginning of next week, and I wouldn't miss the opportunity.
Tell me real quickly what you enjoy the most about flying with the Blue Angels.
I think probably the same thing that everybody does. Besides the traveling and meeting folks, the flying is probably some of the most challenging flying I've ever done, and when you do it well, it's the most rewarding experience that I have experienced.
The Angels will be performing their aerial acrobatics this weekend at Barbers Point and next weekend at Kaneohe Marine Corps Air Station. The Blue Angels air stunts are pretty spectacular from the ground, but from the air, well, that's a different matter. I don't mind telling you I was a little apprehensive. All my co-workers' warnings of pulling G's, flying upside down, gray vision, and stomachs turned inside out were unnerving, to say the least. But I was willing to give it a try, and after all, it is a chance of a lifetime. My pilot, Lieutenant Scott Anderson, flies about 160 media people every year, about 2/3 men and 1/3 women. And he says, interestingly enough, that women handle the flight a lot better than men, which was somewhat reassuring. But all of a sudden, with a weak wave, I was past the point of no return. We couldn't take a camera up with us to give you the full effect of the maneuvers, but take my word for it, it was quite a unique experience.
It feels so free up here, and it is. You can take the airplane in the three-dimensional world of aviation. You can put an airplane anywhere you want to. But I think the bottom line, the one thing I enjoy about naval aviation more than anything else is the fact it's never the same, and it's always a challenge.
Contrary to all the dire predictions, I did not feel sick once. And my pilot even let me maneuver the plane on 2 360-degree rolls. The Angels will put on free exhibitions this Saturday and Sunday at Barbers Point and next weekend at Kaneohe Marine Corps Air Station. And since my flight was only a small taste of the big show, it's one you won't want to miss.
Lynne Waters.
As a journalist and an award-winning reporter, Lynne maintains a link with the island community, keeping us in touch.
Tim Tyndall and Lynne Waters at 5:30 and 9:30 on News Center 4. News right where you want it.